And there's something you don't see every day, a sailing boat. We're not used to seeing them. He was using his sails, but now he's seen us behind him. And he started his engine, and now he's going like the clappers. So just ahead of us is King's Lock to the right. The fork to the left is the Duke's Cut. We've heard it's very low on water. It is silted up. And of course the lock is out at the end, although boats are using it. We're choosing not to. And we'll carry on, and we're going to use Isis Lock. It does get very narrow up there as well, believe it or not. So here we are at King's Lock, the last lock of the day, and then not far to our moorings in Godstow. Now to find the mooring. We've got the last mooring in Godstow. We're moored in exactly the same place we were when we went up to Lechlade. In fact, we're pointing the same way. I had to win the boat and then get in here. It's a better landing here. It's a more solid landing, and it's all grass and rough and crumbling away up there. So we moored up. We've only shared some of our memories of the trip up to Lechlade. Of course, we've got the birthday, my 60th birthday to share. Not a lot to show, but it's an interesting story. And of course Kelmscott. We did stop in Kelmscott, and we'd like to share that when we move from Godstow. But that'll all be for another day. Catch you next time. Good morning. First of all, I am very sorry there was no vlog last Wednesday. We're very restricted with our movements, and indeed we have heard a rumour that the network will be sort of closing down, and they're urging boaters not to move. Yeah, perhaps more on that in a future vlog. We're still moored at Godstow, and it is Thursday the 14th of August. We're still moored at Godstow, even though we turned round. We're still moored by the Abbey, which you may be able to see behind the beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Godstow Priory. We do love it here. We like being amongst the history. It's lovely. And indeed, Lewis Carroll used to spend time here with his friend Alice Liddell, and that was the inspiration for his novel Alice in Wonderland. They used to spend a lot of time boating here, and indeed having picnics on the grounds. It is a lovely place. But we've sort of stayed here. Our gas ran out yesterday. We need to go and get gas. We've got virtually no water. We have got bags of rubbish, so we really have to move. I've been phoning a marina down here, Bossom's Marina, just past the Meadow down here, and they've authorised us to come in and we can get rid of some rubbish and get some water, which we urgently need. Times are bad on the water and it is difficult to get these vlogs out. There may only be one vlog a week for a little while, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I do have an idea or two. But we got lots to talk about, as promised. When I last spoke to you, we do have to share my birthday, which was the best birthday ever, and of course our little walk around Kelmscott. We do have stuff to share, so... Right, Godstow locks up there. Let's get going. And the lock was in our favour. Nicky's just opening the gates there, so it's all ready for us. There is a boat waiting to come up as well. The boat behind us moored up there yesterday, and it's a chaplaincy boat. They're the Waterways chaplains, and the lovely Fiona off the boat baked us, well, not baked us, but gave us a load of banana cake that she baked yesterday. Very nice. Thank you, Fiona. So Nicky's just closed the gates. I did film Sean and Steve. They left yesterday. I did film. I put them through the lock yesterday. They've gone up to Jericho, where we're hoping to get today. But yeah, take a look. See you further up, Steve.
See you later.
Well, it showed briefly how this lock works. Right, let's get down it and get to the marina. So here we are now going through Port Meadow?
Yeah, Port Meadow.
Port Meadow. It's a beautiful area, and just in this area here, during World War I, there was an aerodrome here. The Royal Flying Corps were based, and 17 lives were lost, and there is a memorial on Airman's Bridge there in Wolvercote. Yes, the memorial remembers 2 brave airmen that died in their monoplane here. All in all, there were 17 deaths of airmen here during the First World War. And indeed, during World War II, after Dunkirk, there was a makeshift camp put here on the Meadows. And the servicemen that were injured, or whatever, were looked after here. What a history on the Meadows. Water levels are low everywhere, including the Thames at the moment. The boat going up had warned us that they grounded several times here in the Meadow. So we're just going through on tick over. The more power you put on, the more it draws the back of the boat down. And really, in low water, the slower you're going to go. So we're just going in tick over. We got no rush today, an hour 20, an hour and a half to Jericho, although we are calling at the marina to get rid of our rubbish and to get some water. No rush. Lewis Carroll owned a small rowing boat, and he used to come with Alice Liddell and her siblings and boat around the Meadows here, and that's where they got the inspiration for his novel Alice in Wonderland. As you boat through here, you don't think there's a lot of history, but there's been Iron Age forts and camps found here, and lots of old relics. No punchlines, please. Maybe an old relic going through the Meadow today. I think a lot of these boats that are actually moored here will be grounded. The water level is significantly lower. Not bothering these though. Many thanks to Bossom's Boatyard there. They really helped us out. There is a small charge, worth every penny. Washing done, rubbish gone, and we've got a full water tank. Now on to Jericho. Well, Nicky's on the tiller. We did leave Lechlade a couple of times and go to a lovely little village called Kelmscott. And Kelmscott has got a manor. Kelmscott Manor was built around 1570, and at one part of its life was home to William Morris. He was a famous pattern designer, wallpaper designer. He designed furniture, was a writer, a novelist. He did lots.
He did lots, yes.
He did lots, and we went for a walk around the manor one time, but it was £15.50 each for us to go in the manor. We went there to have a look, and we were told we could walk around the grounds for free, so we did take a look. Lovely, beautiful grounds. We have been told though the house does have examples of his patterns and his fabrics, but apparently there wasn't a lot there.
There wasn't much, was there, so we were told.
And somebody had told us that it wasn't really good value for money, but you can go in the grounds for free. So by all means go and have a look. And then we went to St George's Church, which is just on the outskirts of the village. It's a 12th century church. And there we saw where William Morris was resting. And he was resting good style behind a tree.
Behind the tree, it's all hidden away, wasn't it? It was quite sort of a humble...
Sort of in a dark corner, really, of the churchyard. But we went to see where he was resting, and we also saw some beautiful, original, untouched 12th century paintings on the wall there in the church. Hard to make out, I grant you, but they're 800 years old. So they would be.
Yeah.
But it was lovely.
It was interesting to see though, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the lovely ceiling in the roof, the workmanship there. It was nice. It's well worth a stop in Kelmscott. But the biggest surprise for me was on the 29th of July. Well, actually, it wasn't on the 29th of July. It was just before. Steve, well, you know, we caught up with Steve, and Steve's been doing some serious moving, and it all became apparent after, unknown to me. Steve's a big rugby fan, and oh, we got a boat. Steve's a big rugby fan, and on the Saturday before my birthday, he kept on at me to go and watch the rugby in the Riverside pub. Now, quite frankly, I'm not bothered about rugby whatsoever. And I wasn't so much bothered about going to the pub. But you were at it as well.
Yeah.
You go with Steve, go and have a pint. Oh, I'll come with you, says Nicky. So off I went to the pub. Nicky and the two kids, we left the dogs on the boat. And when we got to the pub, Steve said, come round the back, we're going to watch the rugby on a television screen outside behind the pub. I said, all right, mate, that's great. So he let me go first. I turned around the corner. He says, oh, look, Sean's talking to someone. And I walked towards the table, and this someone turned round, and it was obvious. It was Peter. It was Nicky's dad. I then saw Val, Nicky's mum. The tears came. It was a huge surprise. Unknown to me, Nikki had organised this well before Crick. Steve and Sean were in on it, so thank you guys. And then whilst I was giving Val a hug, I noticed Amy, Matt and our grandson, little George. More tears. We had the best day ever. It was the biggest surprise of my life. I had no idea whatsoever. The most special birthday cake, a Chugabug birthday cake. That was terrific. The best cake I've ever seen, and we all had a lovely meal. Thank you everyone for coming. It was just mind-blowing. We had a lovely day, didn't we? And we had a lovely weekend. They stayed at the new inn in the town, in Lechlade. So it was lovely because they all came round the next morning and we got to spend a little bit of a weekend with family. And that was the most special time. I don't know whether I'm over it yet already. But that explains why Steve, bless him, in 30-odd degree heat, was cruising every day for 8 days because he wanted to get there. So thanks, mate. And thank you to Sean as well for keeping the secret and to help Nikki in the big surprise. We didn't do much videoing. We took some photos. But we didn't do a lot of videoing because that was precious family time. And to be honest, my head was up my backside. Really, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was a lovely time, yeah.
It was just wonderful. Had this lovely ship in a bottle from little Noah and a beautiful watch, pocket watch, off Nikki with the inscription, "Love you more every minute," on the back. It was just the best day ever. I don't know whether I'll ever trust them again. What are you laughing at? Right. Isis Lock is above us, not above us, in front of us, and my arm's aching. Let's get going. So Steve and Sean have set the lock, so straight into Isis Lock. It's going to seem very narrow. Thanks very much, gentlemen.
Walk up, Gary, and see if we can find get the mooring spot for you so I can stand next to it.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Sean.
Otherwise you'll have to reverse back down now.
Set Chester on them. We're back on the canal network, sweetheart.
Oh no, it's a shame. I
We-
like the river.
Well, judging what everyone in CRT are saying, we might be coming back.
Well, fingers crossed we go back down.
Yes. There's the dogs saying hello to Uncle Steve. They do love Uncle Steve.
The thing is, they know Steve, when we're out. They don't bark.
Yes, thank you. The dogs are saying hello.
Yes, mind the dinghy.
Steve just pushed the bow out a little bit. This is moored on the lock landing. We couldn't see it from Chugs. No sign of it. That's us, moored up at Jericho. We're virtually opposite Jericho Wharf here. There's a lot of footfall and we're back on the canals, back to speeding scooters and push bikes galore. We did sit out here with Sean and Steve when we moored up just to get our breath back, had a cup of tea. Well, Steve had a cup of tea, but we're all watered, got rid of the rubbish and watered up, and we can get fuel from over at Jericho if we need it. The CRT have sent all the boaters an email saying that all the system may be getting closed down. They are thinking of putting stop planks in to contain the water where there is water until we get this rainfall. It really is in a dire situation, and they are considering waiving the 2-week mooring law. So as they're recommending that all boaters get near a water point or shops or whatever, so as we're secure and we can get things. It's not in a good situation, but we're here back on the canal network. There may not be another vlog this Wednesday. We can't move, so we'll see what we come up with. Take care.